Oda gave a long interview for One Piece magazine, which will be released on October 3rd, 2025. This is one of the longest interviews Oda has ever given, and it's always great to learn more about this mangaka. Shall we check it out?
Hello everyone, welcome to Manga Information Channel, Sound here. Before we dive into today's content, I just want to ask you to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. It will help the channel grow and reach even more people. And now, without any further delay, let's get into today's video. Let's go!
Well, between myths, theories, and everything else, it's always exciting to read Oda's interviews. They can even help with theories, since Oda uses so many things from his childhood and personal interests to build the lore of One Piece. So, let's get into it. First Steps with Jump. Oda says his very first experience with the Jump universe came through Kinnikuman by Yuda Tamago. In 3rd grade, he watched the anime and later looked for the manga without even knowing what Weekly Shonen Jump was. The big turning point came in 4th grade, when he visited a friend's house and found an issue of Jump that contained Chapter 2 of Dragon Ball. Opening those pages, Oda was shocked by the quality of Akira Toriyama's art, and even more surprised to realize that Kinnikuman, Captain Tsubasa, and Fist of the North Star were all in the same magazine. At that moment, he thought, "This is a true treasure. I need to read this all the time." From then on, he started buying Jump regularly. That experience left such a mark that, to this day, Oda insists Jump must always have 3 major pillars, 3 strong series that ensure readers feel they're getting more than what they paid for. Covers that shaped his vision. With a very limited allowance, Oda could only buy 1 volume per month. He always chose the ones with the most heroes on the cover, believing they gave him the best bang for his buck. This habit directly influenced his own creative choices years later. The covers of One Piece follow 3 rules he invented as a child: lots of characters, varied colors, and a story that can be understood just by looking at the cover. The moment of decision. Even before Jump, Oda read other children's magazines like Korokoro Comic and Comic Bonbon. At just 4 years old, after reading Kaibutsu-kun, he decided, "I'm going to be a manga artist." By kindergarten, he'd already learned that mangaka was a real profession. That discovery left him both shocked and determined. From then on, every manga he read became study material for his dream. His parents were famously strict, so much that his friends nicknamed them demons. But surprisingly, when Oda expressed his desire to be a mangaka, they never objected. Even when relatives teased him, his parents would just say, "Let him try." For Oda, that silent support was crucial. The true validation came when he won the Tezuka Award, the same prize that launched the careers of many great artists. For his parents' generation, the name Osamu Tezuka carried enormous prestige, almost like divine approval. That's why Oda always advises newcomers, aim for the Tezuka Award. Part 4. The influence of Akira Toriyama. Of all his inspirations, none shaped him more than Akira Toriyama. Oda wasn't allowed to watch Dr. Slump as a child because his parents thought it was vulgar, full of toilet jokes. Back then, families had just one TV in the living room, so anything you chose to watch affected your reputation. He laughs, remembering. "So, Eiichiro, you like that kind of humor." Huh? It wasn't until high school that he finally bought the entire Arale-chan collection. Still, the moment he saw Toriyama's art, he was hooked for life. That's also why Oda submitted his debut work only to Jump. For him, Jump was the place where Toriyama was, and no other magazine mattered. When One Piece launched in 1996, and just a year later Toriyama's Kawa began in the same magazine, Oda said it felt like living a dream, publishing alongside his greatest idol. Part 5. The ecchi manga dilemma. Of course, not everything was easy. Even Dragon Ball had its risque jokes in the early days, and Jump often published ecchi series. For Oda, bringing those volumes home would have been a huge problem. With Jump, he could pretend, "Oh, it's not like I bought it for that, it just came in the magazine." But if he had purchased the standalone volumes, it would have been obvious. He admits he really wanted to, but held back. Classics like Kimagure Orange Road, Wingman, City Hunter, and Bastard never made it onto his shelf. Instead, he reread them again and again through Jump, memorizing every page. Part 6, summary of Part 1 of the interview. This interview shows how Ichiro Oda was shaped by three main forces: Jump, which gathered his favorite manga in one place and defined his vision that a magazine must always have strong pillars; his parents and the Tezuka Award, who, despite their strictness, ultimately legitimized his decision to pursue a career as a mangaka; Akira Toriyama, his greatest idol, who inspired his art and his dream to publish in Jump. These experiences, from struggling to choose volumes with his allowance to being cautious about ecchi manga, built the foundation for the creator of One Piece. And that's it. Everyone, did you enjoy this journey through Oda's childhood and youth? It's amazing to see how every detail of his life helped shape the One Piece we know today. If you liked this summary of the interview, don't forget to hit like and subscribe here on Manga Information for more exclusive content about One Piece and the world of manga. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.